Oh, hi, I'm Randy, and I'm the Cheap Audio Man. Here at the Cheap Audio Man, we sure do love DIY speaker kits. And today we're going to glue up an enclosure for the CSS Criton 1TD or 1TDX. That's okay. They go in the same enclosure. So sit down, grab some wood glue. Let's put together the Criton 1TD or 1TDX enclosure. Alright, this is from CSS Audio. This is the Criton 1TDX. Okay? So we're going to put this enclosure together today. Well, I'm going to put it together. You can watch me. And then we're going to glue it up. Now this one's a little bit different from the Encore because the Encore kind of goes together traditionally. You can kind of put it together a variety of ways, but this the Criton, the CSS Criton kit only goes together one way. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to dry fit it so I can show you exactly how it goes together. Now, one would assume that you'd want to put these edges together, and you would be incorrect. Actually, it only goes together one way. So you start with the side, and then you take the back. Make sure that your port is up here where the brace goes. And instead of lining it up with the interior, you're going to line it all the way to the end. Okay, and I've got this leaned up so you can kind of try to see that. Alright? And then you put on you're going to put on the top right here like that. Okay, I'm going to hold that together. And you put on the bottom. Alright. Now this is going to all fall apart here. I'm going to stick my giant belly against this. Alright. There's one good thing about having a big belly. It's being able to hold an enclosure together. Alright, then you put in the brace, and then the top, and then the front baffle. Okay? Alright, so I'm going to take all this apart and we're going to glue it up. I'm going to put it flat now. Alright, here's the thing with this one. The rabbets on here are not as deep as on the Encore. So what that means is if we put the same amount of glue on here as we did on the Encore, we're going to have glue all over the place. And trust me, I've done it because this is the fourth one I've done. Alright? So I'm going to go a little bit lighter on the glue than what I would normally do for, I don't know, maybe a enclosure that's similar, but from a different company. Okay? So, again, just like on the Encore, we're going to put glue here, and we're going to put it in the corner first. Make sure we get it on the vertical edges here, and then we will also put it on the opposite side here to the bottom here. That's going to go on it. Actually, sorry, we're going to do it on the back first. So, we start with the back. Alright, these are CNC'd, and they come directly from CSS Audio. They're very good. They're very awesome. But with these, I'd recommend putting it all together before you start to clamp it down. Just like I did on the Encores, because you have to kind of move things a little bit to get all the top and everything together. I've tried to put the top on while it is clamped. Doesn't work out very well. Okay, so this could go very smoothly, or it could go very poorly. Alright, I'm hoping that it goes smoothly, but I've never done this one before on video. And this is not an easy one, because like once you start, you gotta keep on going. Where the Encore, you can kind of put the sides on, but this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 type of a deal, so you gotta move a little bit more quickly. So I have my brush, I have my glue, and I have resolve to make sure that this thing goes well. Alright, let's give it a try. Alright, there we go. Alright, put a bead there. We're going to put a bead here. Alright, Now, again, this is pretty, there's not as much real estate to work with here. So the glue is going to go a lot further than it did on the Encore because there's not as much surface area. Which is a good thing because we're going to probably make sure that we get plenty of glue on here. Alright. Come back here. Now remember, when you put this on, it's not going to really look right. But trust me, I tried to put this thing together without looking at the directions, and I felt like I was going crazy because I couldn't figure out how to put it together, because it doesn't go together like any other enclosure I've done before, because it's not super like perfectly symmetrical. All right, then I go back in here, make sure that make sure I've got glue everywhere. Okay. Now, sorry. This is going to go, make sure the port is up here by the brace. And we're going to go ahead and put this side on. Alright. Push it in a little bit, and then I want to make sure that this is even. Now you're going to have an overhang right here, but that's okay because that is where the bottom is going to go. Alright, so now we're going to put on the top, and I'll try to show it to you. I don't know how. Try to show it to you. See how it's overhanging down there? Right. I just messed it up. Alright. Probably didn't see how it was overhanging there because it slid forward. Okay. Alright, let's do the top. Now we've got one vertical and one horizontal, I guess, on here. So I'll put a bead there. Oh, I got a bunch of glue. And then I'm going to go vertical here. Alright. So now we have the top. So at the top, I need to hit this side and then the underside. Okay? I'm going to go boom and then boom. Alright. Now this one will fall apart a little bit. I'll go ahead and shove that into the corner. Make sure I've got plenty of glue on the verticals. Sorry. Can't see that. Alright. Put that down. I'm going to smooth this out over here. Alright. And then we're going to go straight up like that. Making sure we got plenty on the edges. Now, it just kind of goes right like that. And I'm going to go ahead and squeeze it in a little bit. Squeeze it over. Squeeze it in. I like to see the little bit of a bead of glue kind of come out. Don't shove it too hard though, because then you'll end up breaking your pretty box. Alright. Now, we're going to do the bottom here. Another bead like that. Another bead vertical like that. Like those sound effects? I know I do. I like the sound effects. Alright. Do one more. Make sure that's all nice and smooth. One of the viewers said that watching me put an enclosure together was kind of like Bob Ross painting. So we're going to put a nice little glue down here. Alright, put a little glue. Alright, so we need this edge and the bottom edge, alright? I probably can't see that. Alright, I'm going to hit it right here. Put a bead there. And then the bottom edge, alright? Put a bead right here. Now this is made out of MDF. I did talk to CSS Audio, old Carrie Ames over there at CSS Audio, and they are getting some Baltic birch packs in too, which is going to be cool because that's going to be a little bit easier to finish. Alright, so now we just lay it right in there. I'll give that a squeeze. There we go. Give it a squeeze on the side. Alright, I'm trying to rotate this around. Alright, because now we get to put the lid on, alright? So now we got to put the brace in, alright? So brace, I'm going to do top, bottom, back. Okay, so I'm going to put the beads on 3 sides. All right. And then what I'll do is I'll put a bead down the track here. Right in there. I'll kind of do one vertical right there. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's horrible. All right. There we go. Boom. On the top and the bottom. And this is going to be going all over the place. I'm just going to use my finger. That's what I have available to me right now. Alright. Got that all nice and done. Now it seems like the MDF, now this is thick MDF too. This is I think 3/4 inch. So it doesn't look like 3/4 inch while we're doing it because they have it routed so much. But this is a serious enclosure. Very serious enclosure. Serious as a heart attack. Alright, so now we're going to squeeze it in there a little bit. Okay. Now we get to do this and the other side. Alright. That's why this one's a little bit more intense than the other one. Because once you get going, you're committed. It's kind of like the pig and the chicken in breakfast. Chicken's involved with breakfast. The pig's committed to breakfast. Let that sink in for a second. Alright, now, okay, so we're going to go here. So we need this side, and this side. We're going to put glue on that. Alright, squeeze that there. Squeeze that there. Squeeze that there. Alright, I'm going to come up, smooth all this out. Dun, dun, dun. A lot of fun, isn't it, for everybody? It's hot in here. I usually have the fan on, but of course I don't want to have the fan on. Mess up the perfect audio. Alright, that's all glopped on there. Nice, okay. I'm going to come back here, I'm going to smooth this out. Whoop. Whoop. I'm going to have a lot of cleanup on this one. Oh my goodness. And there we go. Oh, I better put a bead down the... Put one down there too. Now it seems like the MDF does suck up a little bit more glue than the... yeah, I glued the wrong sides. Of course I did. Seems like the MDF here soaks up a little bit more glue than the Baltic. And that's good actually, because that means I'm not going to glob it everywhere. My goodness. So much fun to do. Alright, this is going to be a lot of fun to do because I'm going to try to line up this with the... Oh, we're not too far off. Yeah, look at that. Alright, okay. Now, we got the top on, so I'll shove it back. Squeeze it down, just like that. Get the corners all shoved in. Now shove it back like that. Oh. Good deal. Alright, I'm going to hit this. Sop up some of this glue. Alright. Some of this excess off. I didn't get a very good paper towel. This is left over from the Encore. It's all nice and gluey. That's what I recommend. I recommend you get a paper towel. Just keep using the same paper towel. Just completely fill the paper towel with glue and then keep using it over and over again, because that's exactly what you want when you're putting an enclosure together. Alright. Put this thing on its back. So I'm going to squeeze it and then rotate it up like that. Now I can shove it in a little bit. Just like that. That's what we're looking at up here. So, cool thing about this enclosure is you don't have to worry about going in and putting any triangles in it, because you have that giant 3/4 inch brace in there that's been pre-drilled out. I'm going to see if I can lean that up a bit. Wire cutters. Get it all gluey. Get my wire cutters all gluey. Alright, here we go. We're going to go boom, down here, over, 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 and then we're going to go right across the brace. Okay. There we go. Smooth it out. Just smooth it out. We're going to glue in and glue off. Smooth it out. There we go. Look at that. Going to get it up on the verticals. Get in the corners here. And then go right over the brace. Right over the brace. Just make sure you get a little bit of glue everywhere. Okay? Okay. Alright. Alright. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Alright. Looks alright. Now, I'm going to do the baffle. Baffle. Not this way. I'm going to do it this way. It recesses out. Alright? And it only goes one way because it's rabbited. That's right. The fine folks at CSS Audio have figured out that we can't put an enclosure together correctly, so let's just do it one way. And I like that. Why? Because if you're a first-time builder, and you don't have to be a stress ball about whether or not you glued the baffle in backwards, because it only goes in one way. And you may think that's a silly thing to be concerned with, but I have glued a baffle on backwards before. Now, you'd probably expect that out of me, but it's not uncommon, okay? It's not outside the realm of possibilities that someone's going to glue a baffle on backwards, let it cure overnight, and a nice, new, expensive speaker kit, somewhat worthless now, because they get the baffle on it backwards. Alright, here we go. Alright, so the tweeter goes by the brace, and I'm going to have to maybe edge this in a little bit. Now, we're going to start pulling away on the sides and the bottom, and that's okay, because we can just shove it back in. I'm actually going to pull this side. There we go. Now we just shove it back together. Look at that. Look at that. That's wonderful. Alright, I'm going to wipe off some of this glue because it's already a mess. That's okay. Good thing about glue and MDF is you get a little water, a little paper towel, and guess what? It wipes right off. Alright, let's get some clamps on here. Put a clamp on, clampy. Get another clamp on, clampy. Alright. Put the clamps on the ground. That's a great place to put them, don't you think? I thought so. Alright. Pull the wire cutters out. Stick this on. I'm going to pull it out a bit. There we go. And again, just like the Encore, like we're not final clamping here. We're just trying to get it together. Get it together, man. Just trying to get it together. We can come back, move the clampies around, make sure we got everything. Whoop. Oh, wrong one. There we go. Alright. We made it. We made it. It's tough. We're not done yet though. We gotta make sure we go around and make sure we get all the little parts and pieces shoved in together, and then leave it alone for an hour to percolate. And we can put some speakers in there and some fun stuff. Maybe put a veneer on there. I don't know. I don't know if we're gonna have enough time. We should have enough time. It was a brutal journey, but we made it unscathed. Well, it's a little bit dirty. That's all right. A few bumps and bruises along here. That's okay. We can sand it. We can paint it. We can have do a variety of things to make it not look bad. Okay. But yeah, look at that. What? Yeah. All right. All right. So this is what it looks like. All right. You got to put your port in there and everything. So that was a Criton. I'm sweating real bad. All right. So remember, you can only put it together one way, so you're not going to mess it up. Lots of glue, that's okay. You can sand it off later. Whatever. So don't binge watch anything. Binge listen to something through your new Criton speakers that you just put together, because you can only put it together one way, and they're going to start making stuff out of Baltic birch as well. So it's going to be really cool, and you can stain it because you don't have to put veneer on it because it's a veneer. Fill your soul with happiness. For that, I'm Randy. I'm the Cheap Audio Man.